Hi and hello, welcome to online biology class because of Ideal Others Educational Institution Andiyor. I am Sadish Kumar going to take down the class regarding the topic of environmental management for unit number 22 in 10th standard biological science. So last class we are seen about some of the basic introduction regarding the environment and what are the agencies which is involved for protection of wildlife, then various types of wildlife projects, then sources, then what are the parameters which was destroying the wildlife. All these things are seen about last class. And today's topic we are seen about soil erosion. So we know very well what is soil erosion. So the removal of the upper layer of the soil due to various environmental factor, the soil is migrated from one place to another place by means of wind, by means of water or running flow of water is called soil erosion. And the soil erosion which is caused by various factors such as deforestation, heavy rain, heavy wind and industrialization, urbanization, all these factors which play the vital role for the soil erosion. And we will see that another one important topic from today's class regarding the renewable and non-renewable sources of energy. Renewable sources of energy, which means which is available for throughout the year and long time for the earth, and non-renewable sources of energy which is formed by means of a biotic factor. It is a slow process. Once we are utilizing this energy, after certain period it was totally eliminated from the environment. It's called non-renewable sources of energy. So all these things are seen about today's classes. Let us enter into the textual content of today's class. Soil erosion. The top layer of soil contains humps and mineral salt which are vital for the growth of plants. We know very well the soil, it is in the form of a powder substance which consists of various sources like humps, which is in the form of dead and decaying organic matter, and they are consist of macronutrient, micronutrient and calcium, potassium, magnesium. All these things are called mineral salt which play the vital role for the plant growth. Without these nutrients, the plant cannot be surveying. So, which play the vital role for the plant surveying. The removal of upper layer of the soil by wind and water is called soil erosion. It is a 2 mark question. So, by means of heavy wind, the soil part is migrated from one place to another place, and during the time of raining season the water soil is migrated by means of the flow of water, and which is left out from one high place to low place is called soil erosion. It is a 2 mark question. And second one, the soil erosion is cause significant losses of humps, nutrients and decrease the fertility of the soil. If the upper layer of the soil is removed, then only the stony particles are available in the deep layer of the soil, which cannot be utilized for agriculture and growing of the plants. So the fertility of the soil is reduced. Then after some times the soil become a junk soil or unused soil. Then agents of soil erosion. The agents of soil erosion is a high velocity of wind, the heavy wind during the time of cyclone, and air currents, the direction of air, flowing of water, the movement of water from one place to another place, landslide, and human activities by means of various human activities and cut down the trees in the form of deforestation, farming to convert it into the monoculture, and mining. So they are take down the coal, petroleum, oil, all these substance, and are overgrazing by the cattle to growing the cattle, and eaten with all types of grasses. They are caused by the soil erosion. So this is the diagrammatic representation, the various agent which is caused by the soil erosion. And the management of the soil erosion, 4 mark question. Retain the vegetation, cover so that the soil not exported. So retain vegetation, that means we are growing with the plant. By means of plant they are tightly penetrating the soil by means of the root. Cattle grazing should be controlled, so we can grow plant and then followed by the cattle, then we are done the cattle grazing. Crop rotation and soil management improved the organic matter. So we can done the soil rotation, very well. Then the crop rotation, then by the same time from all the season we cannot be planted with one type of plant, and continuously we are planted with the different types of plant. So the nutrient value is balanced from the soil. The runoff water will be stored in the catchment by means of check post or the check dam. By means of the check dam, we are preventing the flow of water. Then reforestation and tracking and counter of this mulching. So the reforestation, planting the trees and all other things. The wind speed can be controlled by the planting trees in the shelter of belt. Then you know that during the time of tsunami, the heavy wind and all these waves are protected by the huge trees which is available from the coastal areas. Like that, we are preventing the wind speed by means of the planting the trees. And these are the diagrammatic representation, the management of the soil erosion by the cattle grazing, check dam, and crop rotation. The next topic we will see about the renewable and non-renewable energy resources. They are consist of various types. So renewable resources in the form of sunlight and waves, all the other things. Then in the form of non-renewable energy for coal, fossil fuel, nuclear energy, and all other things. The expansion of the fossil energy, possible energy resources can be and directly related with the agriculture and industrial development in the way every part of the world. So the energy which play the vital role for all the departments and all the activities of the human being, which play the vital role for various development in the form of agriculture and all other things. So the energies are classified into two types. One is called non-renewable. Once we are utilized, that's all. Nothing it will be happen. And renewable, again and again we are replacing the particular type of energy we are utilized for long time is called renewable sources of energy. The non-renewable exhaustible energy resources, they are obtained from that cannot be renewed themselves over the short period of time is known as non-renewable energy. Two more question. What is non-renewable sources of energy? Once we are utilizing, that's all. It cannot be replaced and it will be take down very slow process and long time, millions of years. Again, we are getting into a minimum quantity of energy. So these are available in the limited amount of the nature. They are including coal, petroleum, natural gas, and nuclear power. Another one more question, or maybe in the form of two more question. Give some example of non-renewable sources of energy. You can write down coal, petroleum, natural gas, and nuclear power. Then the conventional energy sources account for 90% of the world and the production of commercial energy and 10% of nuclear energy. So we can see compared to all types of energy, only a 10% is a nuclear energy. All other things, the 90% is depending upon the natural resources. Then renewable energy resources, then it is ultimate and available for the day-to-day life, and the nature can be provided with a blend of sources. The renewed over a short period of time, inexpensive and harvested continuously, which means very less cost and continuously we are getting this particular type of energy is called renewable sources of energy. These comprise a vast potential non-conventional energy resources, which is includes biofuel by means of the plant extract, biomass energy by means of plant and animal waste extract, geothermal energy, water energy, and hydroelectric energy, tidal energy, solar energy, wave energy, and wind energy. So these are the various types of renewable sources of energies are available. This is a two mark question. List out the example of renewable resources of energy. Then fossil fuel. So are found inside of the earth crust and are energy substance formed by the natural process in the form of anaerobic decomposition of buried the dead organism over millions of years. We will see that coal, petroleum and natural gas which are available from the deep soil, it will be take for the long time by means of anaerobic process, absence of air, heavy temperature. Then the dead and decaying organic matter is converted into in the form of hydrocarbons. They are in the form of converted into fossil fuel. It is not a simple process. It is a highly complicated process. It will be taken down for millions of years. After millions of years only, they are converted into coal and petroleum. Then, as the accumulating the sediment of layers produced by the heat, pressure, remain over the organism gradually transform into the hydrocarbon. I already told you hydrocarbon means coal, petroleum and natural gas. Coal and petroleum are the natural resources. They are called and fossil fuel. They are formed from the degeneration of biomass buried the deep under the earth millions of years. The coal and petroleum, the dead decaying plant and animal bodies available on the depth sea due to the temperature and pressure, they are converted into coal and petroleum. Then the India is the third largest consumer of the crude oil in the world after by United States and China. We are in the form of third place utilizing with the diesel, petrol and all other things. And coal is used for generation of electricity at the thermal power station, you know that Neyveli. Then the petroleum is also known as crude oil, is produced by the refineries, produce the product of petrol, diesel and runoff in the automobiles, trucks, trains, ships and aeroplane, etc. Without petrol and diesel we cannot be imaginate the life. Then plenty of vehicles is depending upon this hydrocarbon in the form of petrol and diesel. And the kerosene and LPG, liquid petroleum gas, is obtained from the petroleum. It's a domestic fuel for the cooking food. We know that LPG which is available in our home and the kerosene which is provided by the ration shop. Then all other things are used for the domestic purpose in the form of preparation of food materials. And coal and petroleum resource can be exhausted if the continuous use in this rapid rate. Continuously we are using that coal and petroleum. After some times it is totally eliminated and empty from this place. The formation of these fossil fuels is a very slow process. It will take long period of time for renewal. It cannot be an immediate process. It is a very slow process and it will be again renewed. It will be taken down with the millions of years. Then the steps of conserve the coal and petroleum resources, which is done by the following steps. Number one, the electricity is saved will the in turn the reduce of coal. So we are saving that electricity because more amount of electricity produced by means of burning of coal. Second one, using a bicycle for covering a short distance and using a car, scooter and motorbikes. They are having a less distance. We are done the walking or bicycle. Avoid the bike or scooter, etc. Then using a pressure cooker and the consumption of kerosene and the LPG while cooking the food. Solar cooker and the solar heater used for this possible. Then inception of this LPG cooker, we using the pressure cooker in the form of a solar cooker. And motor vehicle is designed fuel efficient and increase the efficiency and also reduce the pollution. And nowadays you will see that a 4G bike and 5G bike, they are producing a less pollution and by the same time they are given the more mileage. And up to that we will see that soil erosion and conventional sources of energy. From next class itself we are seen about non-conventional sources of energy. Up to that, thank you very much. I am Sadish Kumar from Biological Science Department. Thank you one and all.